And take a look at this, you guys. Kim Jong-un to send Putin 12,000 soldiers. South Korea says U.S. confirms North Korean troops are in Russia. What it means for the war in Ukraine. This is training the DPRK troops for war in Ukraine. And we're hearing that, take a look at this as well. Russia deploying strategic nuclear forces as regular infantry in Ukraine. Now, at first when you see this, you might think to yourself, Russia is running short on military. So this is not what you think, but this is. Take a look at this one. China is enlarging its nuclear forces with its eyes on America. U.S. intel says they are warning the United States right now of the nuclear threat coming from China. So the on the lookout for what is going to be coming here, as we're hearing that things are escalating significantly. Nations are rising against nations. I'm going to be sharing with you the latest as we're hearing that Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, they're unifying, posing nuclear threats to the United States, Israel, NATO, Taiwan, South Korea, and Ukraine. So these are the signs that are being drawn. We're hearing that things are escalating significantly, and I'm going to be sharing with you the latest on this as it's being confirmed by the United States. These threats are real and rising right now. And we're also hearing that they are saying World War III has already begun. There's China is issuing threats to the U.S., and China, we're hearing, is also supporting Russia, and Russia is supporting Iran. We are seeing all of them linked together, our adversaries unifying, and also our allies as well, as things are intensifying around the world with global conflict, and they're saying World War III is already here.
حالا امروز سردار حسین سلامی در قامت فرمانده کل سپاه از میان یکی از صدها پایگاه موشکی زیرزمینی نیروی هوافضای سپاه از این پایگاه بازدید می‌کنند. اینجا سردار حاجیزاده فرمانده نیروی هوافضای سپاه او را همراهی می‌کند و در حال توضیح بخش‌های مختلف این پایگاه است. پایگاهی همچون یک آتشفشانی البته خفته در دل کوه. اما به گفته فرمانده نیروی هوافضای سپاه در مدت زمان بسیار کوتاه این آتشفشان خفته آماده فوران خواهد شد روی سر دشمن. در عملیات وعده صادقه 2 موشک‌های این پایگاه توانستند با عبور از سامانه‌های پدافندی متعدد و متراکم رژیم صهیونیستی پایگاه هوایی نماتیک محل اصلی استقرار جنگنده‌های F-35 این رژیم را نابود کنند. هنوز رژیم صهیونیستی نتوانسته پایگاه هوایی نماتیک را به حالت عملیاتی رهایی کند. فرمانده کل سپاه میگوید برای عرض خداوت به نیروهای عمل کننده در عملیات وعده صادقه 1 و 2 این پایگاه به اینجا آمده و ارزیابی از آخرین وضعیت عملیاتی یگانه‌های موشکی مستقر در این پایگاه. بر اساس تصاویر موشک‌های سوخت مایع عماد، قدر، قیام که از جمله دارایی‌های راهبردی این پایگاه تاکتیکی است اینجا نگهداری می‌شود. صدا و سیما با وجود ملاحظات شدید حفاظتی اجازه یافته تنها بخش بسیار کوچکی از این کوه یخ را نشان دهد. تصویر نوک قله این کوه یخ را که سر از آب بیرون آورده نشان دهد. یعنی حدود 90% بخش‌های دیگر این پایگاه جلوی لنز دوربین قرار نگرفته.
هر روز در اقصا نقاط این سرزمین به تعداد سامانه‌ها و موشک‌ها اضافه می‌شود. شاید دشمن تصور می‌کرد قدرت تولید ما منقطع شده است، اما نرخ رشد قدرت موشکی ما به روز است. همه اجزای قدرت ما، اما موشک‌ها واقعا هر روز هم در کمیت، هم در کیفیت، هم در مهارت، هم در طراحی افزایش و ارتقاء ظرفیت و قابلیت می‌دهند.
این افزایش قابلیت یعنی نیروی هوافضای سپاه باز هم از موشک‌های جدید تولید شده خود و پایگاه‌های موشکی در آینده نزدیک رونمایی خواهد کرد. شاید هم باید منتظر یک شگفتانه عملیاتی باشیم تا محاسبات و معادلات در غرب آسیا دوباره به هم بریزد. یونس شادلو، خبرگزاری صدا و سیما، یکی از صدها پایگاه موشکی نیروی هوافضای سپاه پاسداران انقلاب اسلامی.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in the US, becoming the first foreign leader to be hosted at the White House since US President Donald Trump's return to office. The meeting is likely to focus extensively on the Gaza ceasefire, but there's another key matter that is likely to be a major point of discussion between both the leaders, and that is, will the Israeli Prime Minister get Trump's approval for a military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities? Well, for years, Netanyahu has pushed to draw US attention to Iran's nuclear ambitions that have not only faced resistance from the White House, but also from within Israel's own military and political leaders. As for reports, Netanyahu may aim to secure Trump's green light for a military strike on Iran's nuclear infrastructure. But the question right now is, will Trump approve this? The answer is not so straightforward. In fact, there's history to this. In October last year, at a campaign event in North Carolina, Trump was in favor of Israel attacking Iran's nuclear sites, reportedly stating, and I'm quoting here, "Nuclear weapons are the biggest threat we face," elaborating further that the priority should be to strike Iran's nuclear capabilities first, and I'm quoting again, "worry about the rest later." That's what Trump said. The question now being, what is Iran's stance on this? The Iranian foreign minister last week issued a stern warning that any military aggression by Israel or the US targeting Iran's nuclear sites would ignite an all-out war. labeling such an attack as potentially one of the biggest historical mistakes that the US could make. As per reports, there's a strong possibility that Trump's return to power might embolden Netanyahu to take the military action he's long contemplated. But what exactly is the current state of Iran's nuclear program? Well, according to a report by the New York Times, a covert team of Iranian scientists are reportedly exploring faster, albeit less sophisticated methods to make an atomic weapon. This intelligence was gathered during the final months of the Biden tenure and it was then passed on to the Trump administration. The report further states that Iran's nuclear engineers are seeking a shortcut, a method that could enable Tehran to weaponize its nuclear fuel in mere months, should its leadership decide to make that choice. As per reports, Iran now possesses enough nuclear material to make 4 or more bombs. However, transforming this material into an actual weapon involves additional and complex steps. This fresh intelligence is likely to be a major discussion between Trump and Netanyahu in Washington, D.C. Trump's stance on this matter remains somewhat uncertain. When asked after his inauguration if he would back an Israeli strike on Iran, his response was cautious. Trump hoped that it could be resolved peacefully without Israel having to strike Iran. As per US intelligence estimates, for Iran to build a functional nuclear warhead capable of being mounted on a missile, it could take Israel having to strike Iran. As per US intelligence estimates, for Iran to build a functional nuclear warhead capable of being mounted on a missile, it could take anywhere from a year to 18 months. Some Israeli predictions extend that timeline to 2 years. But here's where things get interesting at this point of time. According to New York Times, US officials believe that Iran now has the technical capability to make an older style nuclear device, which is much faster than previously thought. This would reportedly be a rudimentary, less sophisticated weapon, but still capable of delivering a powerful deterrent message to the world. Adding that such a weapon could be assembled quickly, tested, and showcased as a proof that Iran has crossed the nuclear threshold. And the mere possession of such a device would force countries who are considering military action to think twice against Iran. And Iran's preparations don't stop just there. In just the past month, Iran has constructed 3 underground missile facilities at undisclosed locations. Simultaneously, Iran has also ramped up military drills, particularly around its nuclear sites, signaling readiness to defend against any potential strikes. So what's next? Netanyahu's visit to the US is not just a diplomatic meeting. It might just determine whether West Asia plunges into a catastrophic conflict. So will Trump grant Netanyahu the authorization he seeks? And if an attack does occur, how will Iran respond? And what will be the global repercussions? At the moment, the answer to all these questions remain unclear.
it's Iran and their proxies who will threaten to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran.